Dodging is overpowered. That's my take and the take of a lot of people out there as well. In order to try to inform people about the whole debate on dodging and try to get people to understand where people are coming from when they say dodging is overpowered, I've decided to make this video informing people. Now, I'm not going to try to take both sides, but rather just explain the side of dodging is overpowered. Because if you want to see the other side, there's plenty of places and there are arguments you can get that information from. So for me, I'm just going to put out some basic information because a lot of people don't understand the system at its base. They don't understand, I mean, really fundamentally things about the system and matchmaking that really means that they don't understand what a lot of people are saying. For a lot of people, you might think, how can dodging be overpowered? I don't think dodging is underpowered or overpowered. How can dodging be overpowered? That makes no sense. Like mentally, dodging plus overpowered, that doesn't make any sense, right? So I'll explain why. Now, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll put that here rather than at the end. So there are two key concepts. There are two key concepts with dodging that people need to understand. And these are more concepts of matchmaking itself, not even dodging. One, dodging does not lower your MMR, only your LP. Now, a lot of people don't understand that the LP system is merely cosmetic. The LP system has nothing to do with your MMR. MMR stands for matchmaking record. That's your actual rank. That's on the back end and that's not shown to you. Your LP, your rank, diamond, platinum, iron, that's on the front end and that's shown to you, but that's all cosmetic. It means nothing. In other words, dodging has actually no penalty at all. Dodging has zero penalty. It dropping your LP is merely trying to convince people who don't understand how the system works that it does have a penalty, but it doesn't. The second concept is that League is a zero-sum game. One side has to win and one side has to lose. The winning side gains the MMR and the losing side loses that MMR. Okay? Now, that means that if you're not using every advantage, you're put into a disadvantage. The mere fact that it's a zero-sum game means that instead of dodging being some victimless situation, it actually does have a victim. Everyone who doesn't dodge is being victimized by the people who do dodge. Dodging will raise your win rate, and therefore, if you are not dodging, you're losing potential MMR to the people that do abuse dodging. So we're put into a situation where whoever uses dodging is tipping the scales into their favor. Instead of this being a fair game, by not using dodging, you're actually putting yourself at a disadvantage. And a lot of people are upset at that because we know that we're putting ourselves at a disadvantage by not dodging. And instead of coming up with a solution or doing anything about it, Riot is ignoring the issue. People don't want to abuse dodging, and if we've seen here with a post by Wicked here, if everyone did use dodging, then the games would practically never start. So basically, the people who don't dodge are giving up potential MMR just so that the people that do dodge can take that MMR from us, and that's not really fun, and a lot of people have come to say that this system needs to change. Now, speaking as someone that's been here for a very long time, since before there was role queues even, I've been playing since season 0, okay? But speaking as someone who's been here for an extremely long period of time, the issue of one-tricking and feeling very weak if you're not on your one champion has actually gotten worse with time as people realize that they can dodge and their teammates can dodge, and anytime you're not on your one trick, you can basically get back on your one trick by dodging. Back in the day, we had things like pocket picks, and we had things like just learning to play multiple champions just so that you didn't dodge everything. But as as more people learn that dodging is a penaltyless thing to do, more and more people can one trick. Now, I actually did go ahead and look at it. Now, this is not an offense to Antibot, okay? I'm not trying to call him out or anything, but I did actually look at his OPGG, and I did calculate his win rate when he wasn't playing Annie was 42.3%, which is a far shot off the 0% that people keep memeing and saying he has. 42.3%, with especially his good stats on Malzahar, mean that if Antibot was banned out more often and had to actually play out the games more often, he would improve on Annie, or he would de-rank to an LP where he felt a little bit more comfortable. But I think that if he didn't always get to play Annie, he actually could learn another champion and do well on them as well. Going off that, I think a lot of people who have played for a long time would notice that, yes, champion selects have gotten worse and worse as people have gotten more and more accustomed to dodging. People have done some really dumb things because you can just dodge out of a bad situation. We've seen a lot of people who pick unsafe first picks and just roll the dice because honestly, if they get counterpicked and they are in a really bad matchup, they'll just dodge anyway. People have gotten less used to actually making good teams. You'll see people just pick the 5 physical comp, then dodge it. And that's all just because at the end of the day, there's literally no penalty to it. There's actually just no penalty. You can play the champion select as badly as you want. There is no penalty because at the end of the day, if things go bad, you just dodge out of it. Now, it's my opinion that champion select is a part of the game. There's all that music. When you look at the competitive champion select and you look at the tournament games, they have the music, they've got the visuals and all that. Like, imagine if a team could get to the end of that and then just dodge out and be like, oh, dang, we got outpicked there. Our bad. So playing around champion select, using safe first picks, and just generally playing smarter is supposed to be something that takes skill and is supposed to be something that you have to care about. For example, if my team is full physical, I'll pick Mordekaiser instead of Aatrox, but that punishes me because I'm not just dodging out instead to go then play the champion I'm more comfortable on. In other words, the players who actually took the time to learn multiple champions are punished because instead of just dodging until they can get a comp, until they can get a situation where they can play the champions that they are best at and most comfortable on, they actually try to take those other games, the games where they can't play their favoriteest champion, and they try to play them out. And the people that dodge, they abuse the system to only get good games, whereas you have to take the less than great games. Going on with that, hostage lobbies and trolling, in my opinion, is actually emboldened by dodging. Because if I hold the lobby hostage, I literally have no penalty if I hold it hostage long enough for me to dodge. And additionally, people that dodge because I'm holding the lobby hostage, they have no penalty either. So it's a win-win situation where either I can force someone with no penalty to dodge, or I can dodge with no penalty. You'll very easily, for these older players like me, see that holding the lobby hostage is a far more common thing, as people aren't forced to actually either have to play the games out or, well, I mean, that's really it. I mean, they're not forced to play the games out, so there's actually no penalty. For all those people who complain that hostage lobbying and trolling is too big, it's because there's literally no penalty to doing it. There's literally no penalty. So the changes that Riot is doing, the changes that they are doing are that they're going to add an additional dodge tier. As of right now, your first dodge locks you out for 6 minutes with -3 LP, which does nothing. The second dodge locks you out for 30 minutes with -10 LP, which also does nothing. They're adding a new tier at your third dodge where you'll get a 12-hour lockout and -10 LP. Once again, these do nothing. With no MMR hit, these LP penalties are purely a cosmetic penalty. In other words, it's basically somebody threatening to hit you with a belt, but never actually hitting you with the belt. And people they've learned here, they're never going to get hit with the belt. If you're never going to get hit with the belt, then why should you try to avoid the belt, right? So in addition to that, with all the things that I've said, they're not doing anything that'll actually help this situation. None of these changes do anything other than requiring you to have your second or third account so that you can dodge 3 or more times a day, rotating through the different accounts, rather than having one main one that you spam dodge on. We have seen that dodging is not some small issue, that the highest dodgers in NA have actually dodged 10 games in a day. 10 games in a day, and that's without including their ults or other things that they're dodging on. Once again, if we look at Wicked's post, it would take you 2 hours to get into a game if everyone dodged as bad as the worst dodgers. So that's basically the situation that's happening here, and that's why a lot of people aren't happy with the current changes they're doing, because they're not actually going into the problem. Additionally, there's a second problem that even the people that do dodge have noted, that if you wait until the last second, that's even better, because now you can maybe rely on other people dodging with the penalty-less system, so then you can just continue to dodge again. I'm not going to go into what I think they should do, because I mainly just wanted to make this video to inform people from the perspective of the people calling dodging overpowered. Why do they think it's overpowered? And I think, and I hope, that a lot of people watching this have picked up on that, because it firmly is overpowered, and Riot is not doing anything to fix it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I enjoyed making it. Like and subscribe, and I really appreciate you all for watching all the way through it if you made it this far, and I'll try to make more of these videos, and I hope, again, you all just really enjoyed it, because I'm just trying to inform people, because in my opinion, there's not a lot of good information out there on this topic, and a lot of people, even people who don't know simple concepts like LP isn't MMR, those people get lost, and they think they're somehow increasing the penalties when they're not. So thank you, everyone. Once again, I appreciate you all for watching. Thank you.